and calls it on Sky Sport. Justin Marshall joins us. Welcome back, Marshy.
Yeah, g'day, Devs.
Congratulations on your gig at Supersport for the World Cup, mate. Let's get that out of the way to start with.
Yeah, really, really pleased to be able to be going to the Rugby World Cup and lining up with some legends of the game, and including my old sparring partner, George Gregan. But, you know, when you've got Sculpt Berger and Jean de Villiers, John Smith as part of your lineup, it's going to be some good times, I'd imagine.
I should think so, and hopefully catch you over there. All right, McDermott, that opening stanza with Scott Barrett smacked him. It reminded me, I go back to 1993, and we're playing the Wallabies in Dunedin, and Michael Jones did that to their first five. I can't remember what he was called, but my God, what a way to start a team match when you plant the guy on the backside like that. Have you ever been smacked like that by a loose forward?
Yeah, plenty of times. I've been smacked like that by backs as well. I'm a bit sort of used to it, to be fair. But look, honestly, yeah, it was a bone-crushing tackle, wasn't it? And it just all of a sudden really put Australia immediately on the back foot from there on in.
Justin, what can we moan about with this All Black side? I just went through the scores before. I think we're conceding about 17 or 18 a game, scoring 38 or something. We've just belted Argentina, South Africa and Australia. Is there anything we can moan about?
I think momentum's good at this point, and that's great. And it's really pleasing to see the team starting to click and gel. I think when we spoke last week, prior to the team coming out, I said to you, I really hope that they will retain the team that beat South Africa and get the combinations working and clicking. And, if they need to add impact, they bring that impact off the bench in our own sort of bomb squad type style. And that's very much what happened. The same team pretty much, apart from Sam Cane, was retained, wasn't it? And players that came off the bench added impact. And, the momentum that they've got, the way that they're playing, the speed, the tempo, the physicality. No, I don't think at the moment we can moan. Albeit, I still do feel that, the sides that we've got to test ourselves against and are the benchmark at the moment are for sure France and Ireland.
Are the All Blacks getting better? Are you seeing progress through those three matches?
Yeah, they're playing a better style, which is good to see. I noticed that they're bouncing back to the blind side quite a lot, where they're leaving players that have been at the previous ruck and they're hitting the blind side, and they're not enabling the defence to work out exactly where they're going to go, whether they're going to go open or blind. So that's creating good momentum for them, and equally it's also showing that they've slightly changed the way that they're playing. And I certainly feel that they are, game plan wise, a significantly different team than what they were last year.
Justin Marshall with us on the platform. Is that the best defensive effort you've seen since when? Because the Wallabies had plenty of ball there. It reminded me a bit of, there was about a 10-minute period in the final in 2019, and I know you can remember when South Africa just held England out and they just couldn't get over the try line. It kind of breaks your spirit, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And I guess it's a really valid question, because you look at the game and you see them, basically running in some sensational tries and the attack looks good. But ultimately, unless your defence is good and you're conceding points as well, then the game very much can sway and change. But at the moment, the defence is rock solid. South Africa took a long time a couple of weeks ago to break through and break the All Blacks down. Yes, they scored 2 tries, but ultimately when the crunch time came and they got inside the 22 for the vast majority of the game, the All Blacks, like they did against the Wallabies at the weekend, defensively were very good. Their scramble's great, but what's really noticeable is the physicality they're bringing to their tackles. They're actually just going in with real intent, and that's good because it really compromises ball carriers when they get hit hard.
Justin, Eddie Jones said that this afterwards. It's about 10 seconds long. Have a listen.
What I liked about the team tonight was the way tactically they took on New Zealand the first 20 minutes. And if you arrive from Mars and you watch the first 20 minutes, you'd probably think the gold team was the stronger team.
It says a lot to me in that quote. I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to deflect. He's trying to divert, all of that kind of stuff. There is no way in hell any All Black performance could ever be reviewed like that. Like, oh, God, good. We played well for 20 minutes. There's another 60 to go. What does it say to you? Does it say about their fitness? Why that 60-minute dominance from the All Blacks from that point?
I just think they're scrambling. They're scrambling for ideas on how to break down good defensive systems. They're kind of relying on individuals. to spark. They're trying to look for a sensational play out of nowhere, because their game plan at the moment is really easily picked off and worked out defensively. I don't know if I agree that they were the better side in the first 20 minutes. I think they had a couple of moments there where they looked good, and they had the All Blacks under pressure. But then they made some poor decisions in that 20 minutes as well. And I think Rugby kicked the ball away. I think Carter Gordon kicked it away a few times when he shouldn't have, and it really hurt them. So, yeah, they are a team that really is struggling for their identity, and they are in a world of hurt at the moment. It's going to be interesting to see how they recover from where they are at the moment to try and be competitive at the World Cup.
Let alone this coming weekend in Dunedin, and I want to ask you about that, but yeah. I'm just going to park on that for a second. A couple of things here, which is why you provide a degree of being able to look at it that the rest of us can't, which is what I want from you. The speed of our ruck ball and the general impression made around turnovers, the contrast with not having Sam Cane there. What did you see by not having him there?
Oh, I certainly felt that the other players, when they had their opportunity, stepped up and got over the ball. Cody Taylor is very good at getting over the ball, so his work at the breakdown was excellent. I certainly thought that Papali'i worked hard all day. Frizzell brought the physicality, and you know that Artie's going to get the odd turnover or two. He's going to contest the ruck. Sam Cane brings that physicality. The way that he's been tackling lately has been very, very impressive. So you do lose a little bit of that in your defence. But in terms of the ball carry, he doesn't tend to carry as much, probably as Papali'i even. So, look, certainly at the moment, you'd have to say that he still slots into that back row. And there's a better open side. But I thought the team really adjusted to not having him there really well, particularly in defence.
But you can notice, what I was trying to get at is you can notice the difference he makes when he comes back, though, can't you?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, and I think the fact that a player that is the captain can slot into the team, captain the side, but yet fulfil his role is a really important cog. And he certainly doesn't seem to be affected by that. In fact, I think he actually is a better player for being All Black captain. So yeah, I certainly feel that you do notice when he is missing, and that's a good thing to have, and it's a good headache to have when he's not there, to know that when he slots back in, the team will be even better.
Justin joins us every Monday, people. Fantastic to have you aboard. 81 tests for the All Blacks. 3 games, 3 wins. Oh, look, I'm just trying to look at it from the glass half empty perspective, because that's how we look at our All Blacks. We always look at it from the glass half empty, and I'm thinking, okay, sure, we've had lapses in these games, but when you put the stats down, 114 points scored, 39 conceded, an average of 38 to 13 those wins. We've scored 17 tries, we've conceded 6. Contrast this to how we were feeling a year ago.
Wow, it's completely different, isn't it? Where we were really struggling away, dropping test matches that they shouldn't have been dropping, struggling to kind of work out a game plan. I think they're very clear now on how they want to attack, and because of that, they're scoring tries. Yeah, completely different team. And look, the momentum, I know I've used that word a bit in this interview, but it is massive. And because what momentum means is it means confidence as well. And then you become a really galvanised unit when you have confidence and you're playing good rugby. And that's really important. Look, the only thing I will say is be wary, because I remember in 2003, if you look at our stats in that year, we walloped South Africa, we walloped Australia, and then we got bitten in a semi-final of the Rugby World Cup. So you've just got to make sure that you're continually improving, and this team will have to go through some hardship. At the moment, they've got it all going their own way. They're a dominant side, but at some stage there's going to be a team that's really going to test them, and that's why I feel they just need to keep putting those players out there, putting them out there, so when it comes to one of those knockout games at Rugby World Cup, and they're having a bit of an off day and the opposition are having a good day, they still have this unity, this composure, and this confidence to say, you know what, we'll still get the job done. We will still win this game today.
How important is it to you then that this weekend that Ian Foster, he can make a couple of changes but not wholesale changes?
Well, that's the real melon scratcher, isn't it, really, to be honest, because Australia are beaten up, no doubt about it. They've got injury problems. They're struggling, again, like I said, to find the way that they want to play. You don't expect them to come really with too much firepower, given the evidence of what we saw at the weekend. So it is a chance, I guess, to give some players more game time and tweak the team. But I think I said it right at the very start. before the All Blacks even ran out for their first Test match. I said they need to keep putting the same players out there. If you want players to get game time, bring them off the bench. Let the starting 15 continue to go out there and play as a team, be a team, and like I said, get galvanised together. So, yeah, I would be very reluctant to make any changes this weekend, barring injury or fatigue.
2 more games to go, mate. We've only got Australia and then a couple of weeks South Africa, and then we play France. So it's getting close, and every game seems so important. But right now,
it's not the time to experiment. This is too short a window that they've got, and then a World Cup's a World Cup. So, look, I feel for some of the players that probably deserve an opportunity and haven't done anything wrong, but he knows what a starting 15 is, and that's the team that he's got to keep trucking out there and making sure that they are, the side that carries us all the way through to that World Cup final.
Okay, can I ask you one final question then? So, I'm just trying to get my head around, say, like a guy like Roy Gard, like what do you do with him? Yeah, he got some good game time and stuff like this. So, if we did lose one of our key players and the other guy that comes in hasn't had that much Test experience perhaps this year, but because he's in that environment, you're quite confident that next man up can actually step up. So it's not that important to say, hey, okay, I've got to select that guy for this weekend.
Absolutely, yeah. That's unequivocally what I'm saying. I feel that they've got to make sure that they, when they can, give some of those players that are a bit green the time that they need off the bench, so that they're not just doing the 5, 10, 15. Well, geez, last year they were doing 1 minute for
that's right. Yeah, yeah, great.
So absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Those are players that they feel that they need a run this weekend. Bring them off the bench, and you can bring them on. Just before half time if you want to give them, a good 45 minutes.
Okay. 2 things. Audrey's texted in and says, Martin, it was Pat Howard. And she's right. It was Pat Howard that Michael Jones smacked in 93, put him down straight away. The other thing is, I love Skulkberger, mate. And there's that great photo always of him just looking at Rodney and Jerry and just taking it right to them. And his old man has got the biggest, honestly, he makes Zinzan Brooks' head look like a ping pong ball. Have you ever met Mr. Yeah.
I have, yeah.
Good, wonderful people, though, eh? Aren't they just the friendliest people, mate?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Really great family. Really good people. Both Skulk and his dad. And they were a big set of not only melons, but a pretty robust, sturdy men, aren't they?
Are they? Hands like shovels, mate. I'll tell you what, the audience is loving the fact that you're going to be on SuperSport as well, mate. So congratulations to that. We'll talk next week, Justin. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, Steve. Cheers.
Always Justin Marshall, 81 Test for the All Blacks with us on Sky Sport. But SuperSport have grabbed him for the World Cup.